Alright, welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi y'all on Monday evening. And normally on Mondays we do Micromatic Mondays, but today we're going to make it Mitchell's Monday. This is what I keep my fat in. So we're going to do a Mitchell's Monday. I got a horsehair brush, which is going to be fun. So I saw that I was tagged in a video the other day with an Enders. Now, I have not watched the whole video. I apologize. It's absolutely terrible, my attention span these days. However, I will watch the video. It's from a favorite poster of mine. But anyway, I ain't shaved with an Enders in a while, I don't think, so I'm going to break mine out. Now, this has one of the conversions that uses the injector blade. Works really well. And so that's what we're gonna use tonight. And since my partner really likes it, we're gonna use a little bit of the veg. Sidekick, I call him. Really likes the veg. So there we go. That's going to be tonight. But first, let me show you something new. So let me check this out. So I do a lot of squirrel hunting on public land, wildlife management area, and they require during any deer season that you wear an orange vest and an orange hat. So I've been just wearing a cap. But look at that. We're going to go in style this year. I saw this thing the other day for less than 20 bucks and picked it up. It's not quite as stylish as the ones I usually wear. You know, Fuzzy normally wears hats, fedoras, and caps and everything. But so that's not quite what I normally wear. But it's going to be great for squirrel hunting and stuff this year. And if it starts to drizzle a little bit, that wide brim really helps out more than you would think. But anyway, so I wore that out a little while ago when I went out to walk the dogs, kind of starting to get it broke in and see how it's going to wear. And it's doesn't quite feel as good as my regular hats yet, but maybe it just needs to get broke in. But anyway, as you can see there, we got several days worth of growth to work on. I was off the weekend, and I don't believe I shaved Friday night. I kind of do that sometimes, because Saturday morning there ain't going to be a bunch of people in the building. By the time I get there Friday, everybody's gone, so I kind of skidded a little bit so I can have a better shave for Mondays. I noticed I don't make very many videos like I used to. I don't make as many as I used to. But the ones I make a lot of times are on Mondays. All right, here we go with Mitchell's wool fat. And I've always heard people talk about how hard this was to lather. And just like the what we used to call the modern Williams, I guess you still could. It's the more modern, even though they're not making Williams anymore. I don't see any problem in lathering the fat. And it's a great feeling soap on your skin. And you know, Fuzzy don't moisturize this, but you folks that care about that kind of stuff, the fat would probably be good for you. Make you feel good. That stuff, that does it for you. All right, well, we're just going to get a horsehair brush, a V-long, V-long. I don't know how you want to pronounce it. At least when I said Micromatic Monday this time, I didn't say Microsoft Monday. So at least I got that right this time. Ain't that right, Dave? Ain't that right? But anyway, so yeah, I got tagged in a video, and I haven't watched. I was able to get enough on the first end of it to see the Enders. So there we go. Not a bad smelling soap at all. You know, it's not like let's say tobacco, which is love it or hate it. There's never anything in the middle. So the fat just has a pleasant scent in my book. I don't think anybody has issues with the scent. I think lathering is what most people had issues with. But anyway, I think it lathers really good. All right. See, nothing to it. I don't think there's anything at all hard about lather. Now, what I'm hoping is, let me finish the first statement. I don't see anything hard at all about lathering the fat. I don't. I've done it with harder water, softer water, whatever. Now, what I'm hoping here is that the blade is still good in here, because I don't remember the last time I shaved. The neat thing is, an injector blade in something like this will, yeah, it's going to be fine, will last a long time. I'm not the type to sit down and map out shaves and how many shaves I was able to do with this blade, that blade, the other blade. However, these do pretty good. Be one of the last shaves with this blade, but it's still going to shave good. All right. And then we'll swap blades in the adapter here, which is not that big a problem. If you hadn't had the pleasure of shaving with one of these, you should if you get a chance. I know it's kind of hard finding adapters. Jayara, I think, did a video on making the adapters for them, but you have to have some of the original blades. I do not know these days how hard the original blades are to find. Used to it wasn't all that hard to find the original blades, but they're really when you get to shaving with one, it's a really easy shave. Of course, most any razor, blade's a blade, you know. But it's if you like a little bit of blade feel, they're good for a little bit of blade feel. But however, you know, I don't feel like I'm trying to rip my face off by any means. The handle is easy to hold on to. So they were an interesting design. And there were a lot of razors that used, you know, proprietary blades and stuff. They didn't make they didn't win the war. Gillette won the war with the unmentionables. But there were still some good razors around. And the ones you can modify blades or make adapters for, whatever, and still use, they're pretty neat. I saw a video the other day where they were shaving with a auto strop. And I made a comment, now I need to go shave with the, they were shaving with a Valet auto strop, and I told them to go shave with just a regular auto strop. And that was another great razor, good design. There's a little odd history behind that one as far as Gillette goes. But anyway, you know, you can mod blades to work in some of them, and there's still some blades made, feather for them. I'll do an auto strop shave here before long. Almost did it tonight, but I didn't feel like, quite honestly, either making a blade or going and digging out I do have some of the feathers. Personally, I think modding a blade is better because I'm not a huge feather razor fan. I think they're overly sharp and they're harsh and they don't last as long. The single edge feather blades, you know, a couple of shaves and they're done. But anyway, back to the enders here. This will be the last, probably the last shave on this blade, but that's fine. I'm sure I've gotten several out of it. Things how I don't even remember when I put it in. But we're going to get us a good shave out of it here, trimmed up around the old goatee. We'll be doing good. Got good slick soap with the fat. Don't let, I don't know, if you're thinking about using the fat and you think it's going to be hard to lather from what people have said, now it's been a long time since I hung around the forums to see what they were saying. But people used to badmouth Williams, and they used to badmouth the fat here, saying it was hard to lather. I just never saw it, especially Williams. I was always a Williams fan, still am. Still got tons of the vintage and a bunch of, matter of fact, I was digging around the other day and found 4 more cakes of the newer stuff that I had bought from somewhere. They were still in a box that I just, when the box came in, I just set it aside. It had the Williams in it and an old beat up Jim Jr. Don't remember nothing about it. But anyway, I added it to my collection of Williams. And still got it. Witch hazel with my little, here I got my little light bulb glass. Wish I'd have bought several more of these when I bought these. So when I went back to get more, they didn't have any more. But and I haven't really tried that hard to find them. That's a pretty good shave. A couple little rough patches, but we'll get them sorted out. But I like witch hazel on my final shave. Rocket Man from over at Toast, TOST3.com. Really quiet over there these days. The Rocket Man over there had said he started using the good old witch hazel on his final shave, and it was doing him good. So that's a good thing. All righty, well, check that out. Look at that. I don't think you're going to get much better than a shave out of whatever you use. Had a really good job out of the enders. I've got a speed razor around. Maybe this is the speed razor, other speed shaver. I can't remember, to be honest. But this handle doesn't have either name on it. It just says Enders. That helps anybody out trying to identify what it is. But that was a nice shave right there. We'll get some Lilac Vegetal on. Well, that's what it looks like. And it had a proprietary blade, so that makes it a little rough. Strange. So excuse me. I'm a little perplexed. So that's the blade I just took out of there. That's a vintage. That's not a okay. This is not a modded blade to go with. This is not a modded blade to go with an injector blade. This is a vintage Enders blade, and like I said, if this would have been one of the modded blades, this would have been its last shave. You could tell it was going downhill, but that means we just took a vintage Enders blade and took a 3 or 4 day growth, and absolutely beautiful shave with a vintage blade. Who knew? I don't remember putting a vintage blade in. I could probably go back through my videos and find where I shaved with it the first time with it. That's a guess. But this razor was just sitting on top of the box in there. So anyway, look at that. That was not with a modded blade. That was with an actual Enders, vintage Enders blade. And on several days worth of growth. And it just knocked it all the way out. That's worth a sip of coffee right there, I'm telling you. All right, well, that's what we did. We did it with Mitchell's and Lilac Vegetal. Splash a little bit on here. People have a lot of different comments on the veg. Some people like it, some people don't. My understanding was it was originally created for the Hungarian cavalry. And some people say that's why it smells like horse. I don't know. I like it. The veg chooses you. You don't choose the veg. And if it smells good on you, great. If it don't, it's just, too bad for you. But anyway, there we go. We're going to call that a night. We're going to finish getting ready for work. And I already walked the dogs and got to find something to nibble on. Then we're going to go start our work week again. We're doing mostly Monday through Fridays overnights now. So there we go. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, pay attention to your blades. That's all I can say. I still kind of dumbfounded by that. I was going to take that out and show you the blade modification, but we'll do that next time. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, happy shaves to you.